Okay, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Lesson Non-Classics. This is episode number 2860. 60 something like that. It's 68, excuse me, and Doubleshot number 2762. First, discussing the first of two trades. Well, there's technically three trades as collected in this volume, but we're discussing the first one. Third one we've discussed already. So we're here on the first trade for this one, Defiant. We're on New Warriors, Volume 1 Defiant, excuse me. Written by Kevin Gribox. A little interesting. I did not know this because I remember reading this when it came out back in 07. Now, the thing with this book is, the writer of this book, this was, oddly enough, the first book the guy wrote for the company. He only did one other book after this. That was a mini-series. It debuted Blue Marvel, who's still around this very day. And aside from doing this book and that mini-series, here's what he's done. Like, 2 one-shots, 2 issues of Spider-Man Family, and issue 7.5 from Amazing Spider-Man. And you're thinking, that's it? And this is out of that. This is the only ongoing series the guy worked on at Marvel. Apparently, the guy was a novelist. He just basically came on board for this one. So, now the thing with this book is this is coming after the events of Civil War 1, where Tony Stark is basically director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and for some reason, the people he works with are embarrassed by the New Warriors because of their actions. And also, I thought this was really weird because this was really odd. I kind of forgot this happened because it's been a long time for these issues. Where Tony Stark wears a S.H.I.E.L.D. jumpsuit. Now, normally when he shows up, he usually is in his Iron Man suit. Because all the appearances I remember seeing him when he appeared in the whole initiative, so he's always appearing in his suit. If he's not wearing the Iron Man suit, he's wearing a full suit and tie. Not a S.H.I.E.L.D. suit. I can't think of any other book he's appeared in where he's worn this suit at all. I thought this was kind of weird. I get the fact he is director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but didn't need to wear it. In case you're curious, though, did Norman Osborn wear one of these jumpsuits when he was director of Hammer? No, he did not. He never did wear this. Did Steve Rogers wear one of these when he was briefly director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Nope. Sharon Carter? Nope. Like, I get Nick Fury because he's basically, he found S.H.I.E.L.D., but Tony didn't found S.H.I.E.L.D. He was appointed director by the president. Replacing Maria Hill. Now, the New Warriors is not the classic New Warriors. And this is a little strange fun fact about this book. This is by far the only volume that features New Warriors where Nova does not make an appearance. Out of 5 volumes, there is no Nova. Richard Rider does not appear in all 20 issues. None. We do have a new Night Thrasher. That we do. It's not revealed to issue 6. This actually is the former Bandit. Well, the original Night Thrasher's brother. So, the New Warriors are mostly comprised of depowered mutants. Like on the cover of the first issue, this is Wandra, basically Jubilee. And she is the second commander of the team. And they try to recruit Sofia Cortez, where she does join the team too. And the members are like, they even have like Chamber, and he's been depowered too. This is explained in one of the books where he got a new look for himself, where he looked like Apocalypse now. Though when the whole M-Day thing was reversed thanks to AVX, he's back being normal Chamber again. I don't know why they did this for, but they did. It is by far one of the strangest things related to the character. The book starts out with the Grey Gargoyle being hunted by Wandra, who apparently has got shape-changing powers. Yes, she can change size. And there's an angel who gets shot too, who's actually Sophia. Yeah, we focus on a lot of Sophia in this book, where she's like the primary character for a lot of these issues. Mm-hmm. Yes. And they leave us on New Warriors was here. This graffiti on the ground, not on the wall. No, normally, and here's what I mean right here. If I can get back to this here. Here we go. Let me show you this here. Tony Stark wearing a SHIELD jumpsuit. Name a comic besides this one where he wears that suit. I can't think of any. And I reviewed a lot of the stuff related to this ship so far, and I do not remember him ever wearing this suit at all. I guess someone at Marvel probably, I guess maybe he probably, oh, he's Rector SHIELD, he has to wear this suit. And I'm like, did he not get the memo related to Iron Man being Director of SHIELD? It is really weird, the fact to see him like this, because I had not read these issues in years. Like, I probably like a little over 10 years since I've read these issues. Yes, the book came out in 2007, but I haven't read the issues in a long time. Now you might be thinking, did I read these issues when it came out? I wasn't going to comment. I wasn't going like stuff that I do nowadays, where I go out, where I read stuff like online. I didn't start doing that until around like 2015, I think it was. Someone recommended me a website that I still use this very day, which I'm not going to say what it is because basically I never get shut down because it's where I get a lot of information from. So, yeah. And Sophia works at a diner, so then she gets messages on her computer. And then we see one of the serpents decided to get tied up. Yeah, and then Sophia runs to this very, what you probably think is a handsome guy, and it's Beak. Yes, Beak. You know, the guy with the beak, the guy who marrying a woman named Angel, and they have children together. Yeah, she's very happy to see him with no beak. There's no mention of Angel, and then the first issue ends with the debut of the new Night Thrasher. Oh, and the whole thing with Bandit, how they reveal this, because when you first see in the book, he's in a wheelchair. You're like, how can he be Night Thrasher? And it turns out it's revealed by the final issue, he's actually faking it. He's actually not crippled. So yeah. And of course, they bring up what happened with New Warriors that happened in Civil War #1. Yeah. So this is in other news. High tension around the country reemerges of a team of gone definitely not forgotten superheroes, New Warriors, wherein the super famous team up of an old or entirely new one to determine. Actually, the original Warriors group of 2 teenagers who were killed in the tragedy of the Stamford, Connecticut, resulting in a slaughter of 612 citizens. Deaths resulting in hand civil nitro tipped off fires to public outcry. Okay, so yeah, this actually is from the reality team. Yes, this is the reality team, New Warriors. This is not the original lineup. Yeah, either the writer of this book he probably did not receive either. He did. It's like he was just given this assignment to do this book, and so they're like, "Oh, original New Warriors." I'm like, okay, so Night Thrasher didn't look like that in the 90s. This is a new look for him. Speedball was definitely part of the team, definitely. Namora, except she didn't look like that. That was something that's new for the 2000s. Microbe was an original character for that book. He was not in the New Warriors prior to the volume. You know who's not here? No Nova, no Firestar, no Justice. So, and then we see the New Avengers, which at this point is comprised of Wolverines, Spider-Woman, Luke Cage, Spider-Man's also on Team 2, Doctor Strange, and I believe this one over here, is Maya Lopez, aka Echo. And we see, oh, the Rhino's been captured too. Interesting. And then we see the Mighty Avengers, where at this point the lineup is comprised of Black Widow, the Sentry, Wonder Man, Ares, and Miss Marvel. Okay, that part they got correct. But did they really need to show Black Widow show off her rear end? MSN, Yahoo, Google, who believes in this stuff? Anyways. And of course, show off, and then we see Tony in a suit. Like, okay, that's correct. Him wearing a suit is interesting. And oh look, we have to have a close-up of Miss Marvel's rear end. Like, is the writer of this book, is the artist of the book a bit of a perv? Because twice he's shown two beautiful women's rear ends for seemingly no reason. Yeah, the team itself was not really comprised until issue number 2. So then, of course, we reveal the team in that kind of next issue-ish. And then we see, looks like Surge, Colossus, and Wolverine take on the Blob with Sophia. So here are the members. There is Tempest, who is Angel, Ripcord, who was Stacy X, Decibel, aka Chamber, Longstrike. I believe this character was original. Oh yeah, she was part of the group. Part of the Omega Gang. And she got killed off in issue 4, sadly. Yeah. Don't know why he killed her off for. She's a Grant Morrison character. Yep. And there's also Phaser. Who is Phaser? Phaser was also part of the Omega Gang as well. Yeah. That's pretty much basically what we got here. Oh, and Rhino. He last appeared part of this issue here. An issue of Punisher War Journal Volume 3. Volume 2. Yeah, Punisher War Journal Volume 2, number 13 is when he last appeared. His next appearance after this one issue will be in, well, back in that one book. Maybe it's like in between, per se. We get flashback to the good old days of New X-Men, Academy X, and then, well, she talks to a homeless person. And once again, we have Tony Stark in this silly suit. Like, artists, why in the world do we have to have Tony wearing this silly outfit? Yeah, to me, it looks silly on him. When I think of Tony Stark, I think of full suit and tie, or the Iron Man suit. Nope, let's just do that. Yeah, and then we see, like, oh, we got like a little memento. Yep, and then she meets up with Jubilee, and wow, it's like the artist decided to make Jubilee's breasts so freaking huge. I'm like, okay, she's supposed to be in her 20s, but damn. I'm like, okay, so that's how you show her off. Basically, show the fact he's got really big breasts because she's a hot Asian. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I kind of pointed this out, though, the fact that the artist might be a bit of a perv. Yes. So then we see on a table, like, yeah, we see the dead Night Thrasher, the original Night Thrasher, with holes in him. Nemertita. And yeah. So somebody thought this is a good idea to do this. Oh yeah, prove the fact, New Warriors, that by showing up a freaking dead, they dig up the dead body of Night Thrasher and freaking Microbe. Like, is there a reason for this? Yeah, to prove the fact that they're dead. I'm like, okay, and then we have a simulation. By the way, their headquarters is, get this, a former building owned by Arcade. It's a converted murder room simulation. Murder world, yes. And then we have this weird moment where Avengers Tower, oh my gosh, they graffiti Avengers Tower. Where it's like, SHIELD. And it stands for Starks, Hopeless, Initiative, Empowered, Losers, and Dorks. Okay, this is funny. I thought this was so funny. And I'm like, oh crap. He's like, oh crap, my building's been graffitied. Yeah, a building he later had to get into a legal disagreement with Norman Osborn when he used SHIELD money to fix his building after he himself got thrown into it by the Hulk. Yes, so, and then we see Bandit where he's in a wheelchair. Yeah, it's all a lie. The whole thing him. And then of course the New Warriors meets up with Wolverine. And Blackwing, the former Beak, briefly talks to him. Of course, talked to Wanda, who's got shape-changing powers. The whole thing of like, and then of course she asks Wolverine before he leaves that there's some Logan, you and me, we good? And she said, who said we weren't? Yeah, they're good. They're still good friends. Now, the thing is, Jubilee is sort of like a little sister to Wolverine. He would never, ever do anything romantic with her. Wolverine is a father figure, so he would never do anything to her at all. Not really. I mean, he's not interested in her like that. I mean, because Wolverine's so old, Jubilee is not in love with Wolverine. Not in the slightest. It has never been written that she's ever been in love with Wolverine. The man is old to be her great-grandfather. So, no. So, yeah, and then, of course, New Warrior. Then we see, this is kind of weird. Ninth Thrasher going giant size. The end of issue 3. Issue 4, they kill out the member of the Omega King. Yeah, and because, oh yeah, like, and then we have personnel from the Super Administration, the Commission of Super Activities basically having us woo. Like, I appreciate how he's written here. It's fine. Oh yeah, we also gave you a brand new Zodiac in here. Yes, a brand new version of Zodiac, and it only appeared for a couple issues. They appeared in issue 4, and then they appeared in issue 5, and that's it. Where the scoop? Don't know. Oh, apparently the guy who works for is Senator Keeney. Whose code name was Wolfman. He got killed off in the issue of Iron Man. So he was an original character created post-Civil War, and he got killed off the following year in Invincible Iron Man 28. When he was still a director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, as for what his position is, he's basically part of the U.S. He's the Secretary of Defense. He's a new one, and he's only around the comics like a year, and then he gets killed off. Oh, by members issue appearing in this issue: Hank Pym, Tony Stark, obviously, Commando, Hardball, Cloud9, and Thor Girl. Yeah, and then of course, basically by the end of the issue, it's like, oh, the team disbands. Because they disagreed at the end of issue 4, because the fact that the New Warriors dared to basically disagree with him. Yeah. So they go into combat, and in issue 5, like, because Night Thrasher doesn't think they can handle a death. We see Tony looking at something on the. He looks something on his desk in issue 5. It's not really known. Wait, I'm looking at basically like a picture or something. Yeah, it's not really known exactly what he's looking at here. And then we cut to the Baxter building where, like, by the way, Storm Black Panther here. If you were curious, why in the world is Storm Black Panther in the Baxter building this period of time? Well, there's a reason for this. The reason is because, well, they are married at this point in time, and this, of course, after Civil War I. So, Reed and Sue's marriage got on the rocks thanks to Civil War I. So, Reed decided to take his wife on a second honeymoon, so invited the newlywed couple, Black Panther and Storm, which I vehemently disagree with basically still to this day. 12 years later of splitting these two up, I still think it was a mistake. And making them part of Fantastic Four. I mean, it's not a bad idea to do. I mean, after all, Black Panther did debut in the pages of Fantastic Four. It makes sense. Storm, on the other hand, well, she's a longtime friends with Sue. Yeah. I mean, this long chat from him, like, this is how he thinks, basically. It's like, he thinks he failed, so the team was suspended. Yeah. And you think the team was suspended, but no, not really. And Jim Billy is like, are you out of your mind? Yeah, question my commitment. Yeah, because they think he's not committed. That he wants to suspend the team. Hold up. We were X-Men for years. We can take care of ourselves. Yet here, with Longstrike dead, we continue more. Wait a minute now, Thrash. We didn't risk my neck for at least a few months. We could run up a first out of trouble. Capone is right. I didn't come all this way just to quit. Just. You don't have a choice, Ripcord. None of you do. Yeah, for some reason, Ripcord was given, Stacey X given the identity of Ripcord. This is he had a Ripcord character. Yeah, there was one from the old volumes. And why in the world that Stacey X was given this identity, I have no idea. I don't mind the new names. It's fine. But I do disagree with the Ripcord thing. Because New Warriors had a Ripcord already. Yeah. Stacey X is not the only person holding a Ripcord. Yeah. So, Sophia gets injured, and, well, the Wanda teleports basically to her headquarters, and then oh yeah, and he also promised credit cards $200,000 a piece. It's like, then Sophia is brought in basically to chew him out. Like, Sophia, you alright? Like, Tucker says I'm fine. Nothing to band-aid or cheeseburger point. I hear you're closing up shop. I hear you. I once know a guy who taught me freedom isn't free. I know a guy who might have had some hurt. Make some amends. Yeah, basically it's like, and neither I want to hear this. Who said was talking to you? And she's like talking to the team, and eventually this somehow convinces Night Thrasher to not to change his mind with disbanding the team. They go out. And it was also implied by the end of this issue that, that possibly Tony Stark may be financing the New Warriors. And then the issue ends basically revealing that Night Thrasher is Blackmore Bandit. Yeah, they view this in issue 6. Not really sure exactly why they had to keep this secret for. Yeah, this is something that I think, in my opinion, was like the whole thing of Night Thrasher. Like, by the way, his suit, it's kind of reminiscent of his old 90s suit, the one he has in this book. And for some reason, they had him basically just put on this suit for some reason, despite the fact that, like, okay, so, yeah, Readers Know New Warriors are back. Fine, we have this brand new team. With the exception of Night Thrasher, it's a completely original roster. Which, fine, I don't have an issue with that. It is interesting that we comprise it mostly of 4 more mutants. I'm like, okay, not the first time we had mutants in this roster, but it is quite interesting nonetheless. But the one thing I disagree with when it comes to this book is not the writing. Writing is fine. It's some of the artwork in here. Like, it's not terrible. It's like the way that the artist draws basically certain characters, mostly female characters. It's like this artist be a bit pervy. Like having close up, like example, showing a close up of Miss Marber's rear end, or showing a bit of a close, basically, like making Jubilee's breasts so like having her define huge breasts for some reason. I as an interviewer, I don't have a problem with it, but it just feels a bit off-putting to me. But I'm gonna get Defiant roughly a 9 out of 10. Yep. All right. Next up we have is All-Star Squadron. We're here discussing next up issues 41 to 56. I was going to start 55, but I discovered 56 actually was the conclusion to the Crossover storyline. Now, 41 to 43 is All-Star Squadron versus a bunch of Japanese people. First issue being the origin story of Starman. Yep, we get the backstory of him in this issue. That's pretty much what the issue 41 is. Leading to a few issues where they deal with some Japanese villains. Yep. Yeah. And basically in the way, that's kind of what we deal with for this the next couple issues. By the way, the new artist is Arvo Jones, which, first thing I think of Arvo Jones is Iron Fist. But the art here is really good. Excuse me. Yep. So most of what we do with Japanese supervillains, and you're like, okay, that was fun over here where Johnny Quick basically gives Liberty Lawrence a smooch. It's like, you know, I like it when you lucky dog. And no, Rick is not basically hit on with Firebrand. Yeah, and of course, Amazing Man basically comes into, and they all play in a strategy. And at one point, it seems like we have, and we take on the Japanese villains for the next couple issues. I'm like, ooh, here's basically like Golden Age Black Canary. Like, damn, what a really good one here. Yep. But they kind of wrap this up by issue 43. Also, the tarantula, the original one, pops up in this issue. They wrap up this whole storyline here involving the Japanese villains. And then we deal with Night and Fog in issue number 44. You're thinking, wait, Night and Fog? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and also that Johnny Quick is taking Liberty Bell to Philadelphia because he wants to meet her, like, only film she has left. And pretty much the next 3 or 4 issues deal with basically her. And we also have like a costume party in Philadelphia where Rick's like, oh, we see Firebrand, but nope, it's not Firebrand, it's the Phantom Lady. Yep. Yeah, and Firebrand is wearing Phantom Blade's costume, and who would be confused. Yeah, so yeah, and Night and Fog show up here. They're kind of oldish villains. Ah, when I think it was Firebrand runs like I think it was actually it was Johnny Quick as Tarantula runs in like, oh, yeah, this looks kind of familiar. Yeah, and Firebrand ends up crying by the end of the issue. Hmm. Yeah, so we have a flashback of Miss Liberty. Let's see what Night and Fog here. Hmm. Yeah, basically they go straight to Independence Hall, where, yeah, yeah, and they're there meeting a friend of his. Basically, his name is Tom Revere. I think it's implied this guy here is a descendant of Paul Revere. And then the wall collapses in, and Baron Blitzkrieg shows up with two other guys, Blue Streak and some other Nazi. Oh, Night and Fog. This was their debut appearance. Oh, and the guy. I think this issue, Firebrand's father dies. Yeah, this book here was basically their debut. Yeah, and also Firebrand's father, he dies. Firebrand's trying to save him. Of course, he's crying. Yeah, so Tom himself basically tries. He basically is a good guy. He tries to find up Baron Blitzkrieg, and then Baron Blitzkrieg just throws a gun at him and he kills him. Yeah, and he first appeared in Boy Commandos. Yeah, and the Blue Cyclone. This was just a couple appearances by him. Yeah, he only appeared for these two issues, and he was never seen again after this. Yeah, 45 was his debut appearance. Yeah, and then of course, the whole thing with this issue is that Baron Blitzkrieg steals Liberty Bell. Yeah, he steals Liberty Bell as a propaganda move, and Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Flash show up to try to stop, but they capture one of them, and then Liberty kind of quits. I do love the character of of Tom Revere. Yeah. So the other guy here, the short guy, is Major Zorg. He first appeared all new Click Edition C54. I think that was his debut appearance. Yeah, and after this two-parter, he only appears one more time after this in Young All Stars number 6. Number 9, excuse me, that'll be his final appearance. But Tom Revere, he didn't appear very much in the book itself. Mostly, but he just was there like a phone call away to deliver Bell her powers. Yeah. Like, he was there for the first couple issues. He returned in issue 33. He's back here for 2 issues. And then, well, he basically probably appeared in Star Wars comics. Yeah, and Liberty just quits. But then, of course, basically, like, she goes like a revenge. Yeah. In issue 46, like, she really wants to find out where the heck Baron Blitzkrieg is. And Hawkman's like, the whole thing of Liberty Bell. And of course, Johnny Quick is, and of course, everyone's like, and of course, Firebrand's like, now hold your horses, Hawkman. Maybe Louis is putting on a fancy costume. And she's a quitter. Calm down, Firebrand. He didn't say anything like that. Still, yeah. Yeah. And of course, Johnny Quick basically is like, yeah, I'm sure chock full of ideas, like how my feet were as fast as my mouth. Old Tommy alive right now. Come on, Johnny, I will blame you. Nobody but me. And he admits that he loves her. Tom Revere, well, he was like family to her since her dad died in Poland in 1939. And Zone's creep stopped me from saving him. How about that albatross around your neck? John would do better if both you and Libby were spending your energy finding Baron Blitzkrieg. Check. Yeah, this is something when people don't say check. We don't destroy the bell, then. Yeah. So it's like we find a Green Lantern. Only later. No, Hawk, rather, your little bird rubbles off you whoever it's the wrong way, including Libby's. Oh, perfect. I don't know how to break it to you, but I gotta get back to work. As Johnny Chambers, as you need me, gives me a holler. I'm due back in Washington, where the Bear and Blitzkrieg previous hideout. As you can. I hope now. You've done plenty, Firebrand. And he just leaves. It's for me to see you around. Tell me, Phyllis, why is it always quick on trigger? Benefits. Let's go parse over assignments. And Grail's, hold up, he's not over yet. And of course, he proceeds to look for her, and then he finds her at the Major's hospital, where she's about to murder him with her fist. Like if he stops her, and of course, then he admits basically that Blitzkrieg was responsible for still going rogue in issue 9. Yeah, so. And then, of course, they try to chase off somebody. Yeah. Yeah, and then Liberty somehow contacts Hawk Girl. And apparently that... So, basically, Baron Blitzkrieg is blind, so he wants to use Liberty Bell to restore his sight. And Hawk Girl takes on Blue Streak. It's like a massive brawl, but Liberty Bell does not get destroyed here, shockingly. I think it's Liberty Bell using her power. And Blitzkrieg is basically Cyclone is captured, and he's never seen again after this. He's captured and just never pops up in comics ever again. And then, of course, basically that John Chambers admits his feelings for basically Libby, and they make out. And then, of course, next issue we deal with Dr. Fate. Now you might be thinking, is this issue the last time we see Baron Blitzkrieg? In this book, yes. Sadly put, this to be his final appearance. Mostly put, he appears, like, in this book anyways, he does turn all young All-Stars. I thought it was 12 issues, my mistake, like 25. He does return young All-Stars. And he does return in the 90s. Oh, it's 31 issues, my mistake. Yeah, so he does return in the 90s, But in this book, yeah, 46, he's done. Yeah, he's completely done. He is written out of the book. He's not dead per se, but yeah. So the very next issue is basically Dr. Fate's backstory. Yeah, basically we tell his backstory here while doing Wotan. And 48, of course, is basically the return of the Shining Knight. First time in a long time he's been seen. And those of you curious, when was the last time he appeared in the book? Last time he appeared was back in issue 36. But he's back here for pretty much, he was back here for pretty much the rest of the book. Yep. So no more breaks for him. He's back. So it's like, whose side is he on? And also we have Blackhawk guest starring in this issue. Yes, the original Blackhawk does. Yeah, he makes the Blackhawk Squadron's here with Churchill and take on Wotan. It's a continuation of the previous issue here. Then 49 is basically the conclusion of this storyline. We also have the first appearance of the Golden Age of Dr. Occult. Issue 50 begins the Crisis of Earth tie-in, which in this very issue, Liberty Lawrence and Johnny Chambers get married. Yep, this is the wedding. It just happens completely out of nowhere. Yeah, they just get married. And also, they also get the Freedom Fighters who become involved with the stuff here, and the Blackhawk Squadron joins up with them too, because basically we're getting to a crisis of Earth. We gotta wrap up basically the whole thing with this whole storyline, and then we throw in the Monster Side of Evil from Captain Marvel's Earth. Yeah, Captain Marvel's in these issues. Yep, and so we have Mr. Who, Noya, Real Mighty, and Romulus. Mr. Mind is also in these issues too. It's like, yeah, we gotta involve Earth X, we gotta involve Earth S. Yeah, and at one point it seems like, Captain Marvel turned Nazi. But then you stop and he's pointing at us like, what's his point? Oh crap, it's the freaking Shadow Demons! Yeah, because Crisis on Earth's happening. And here's the thing, the Antidote does not appear in this book at all. The Shadow Demons do, and they're doing their best to fight them. And really cool set of issues. Yeah, there's even a backup story for Hawkman. In 53, basically, Superman returns the book first time in a while. And we have appearance by the 1985 version of the JSA. And the character of the Dummy joins the roster. Also, Perdigonon appears here, and Carol Ferris. It's like a big guest star galore. Yeah. And they come up Orm the Mighty in issue. Like, he gets killed off here. He's an old character. Yeah, the Monster of Evil, the original version, yeah, they get disbanded with this issue. But they do come back after this. Yes, they do. They come back in other books. In 50 over much more, yeah, but like a lot of characters make guest appearances, taking Ultra Humanite. A fireman's recruited these fine people: Arctic, Black Pirate, Psychotron, Don Caballero, Golden Gladiator, Trigger Twin, Super Chief, Strong Bow, Silent Knight, Roving Ranger, Miss Liberty, Justin Valor, Viking Prince, Vadita. And you're like, a lot of these people are like, who the heck are these people? Okay. Back. I'm not, like, somewhere with Miss, okay. Arak is basically a Native American character debuted in the pages of Warlord as a backup story. Black Pirate. Debuted in All Star Comics. He's Sally Died in Starman. Cyclotron, who looks like he wears Alfred's costume. What do you think? I think of the costume. He got killed off in the second annual. He comes back here. Oh yeah, here's the thing. He's the father of Atom Smasher. Yep. Yeah, kind of a weird thing is that he supposedly died and he comes back here complete random. And he's like, I heard that. Yeah, either he was time dispatched. It was kind of weird that he just randomly came back here. Don Carlabone, he's kind of like DC's take on Zorro. He first appeared in All Star Western. His whole thing, he's basically like a fencer. It's like Firebrand just some people from the Earth 2's past. Golden Gladiator. Takes a bit for this to come up here. And wow, I've been on this for quite a while. Viking Prince is from, I believe, made his debut in the early issues of Brave and the Bold. Miss Liberty is basically a relative of, it's basically like a take on, I think it's Liberty Bell's ancestor. Super Chief is a character who I am vaguely familiar with him because he kind of joined the Justice League during the events of 52 for a very brief period of time. Well, that's taking a while. Let's find out my phone here. And this is issue number 52. No, it wasn't 52. It was okay, here we go. 54. So, Golden Gladiator. He was a character who debuted in the pages of Brave and Bold. He died in the Judas Coin book. Justin Fowler. Appearing in Sage Comics number 5. Yeah, and he's basically his son is basically the Black Pirate. His father is the Black Pirate. Miss Liberty. First appeared in Tomahawk number 81. She got killed off in 45, probably in a flashback. Yep. Roving Ranger. He's a Texas Ranger. First appeared All-Star Western 58. Trigger Twins. All-Star Western 58. Vilda made her debut in Arc Son of Thunder #3, Viking Prince, Brave and Bold #1. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go. Okay, here we go. Go back, please. Thank you. That's better. Okay, so Silent Night. Silent Night. He debuted also in Brave and Bold #1. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, let's bring people from the past to deal with, well, a threat in the present. Because Earth 2 is ending. And then the final issue of the storyline brings in the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Yeah. It's like, okay, one last hurrah for the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Yeah, It's quite interesting. This was actually the only issue of this whole series where it doesn't feature the All-Star Squadron. It does appear appearance by Gloria Pemberton, Sylvester Pemberton's mom. Yep. Yeah, basically we have them here in this issue. And that, silly put, is it. But really good stuff here. I thoroughly enjoyed these issues. I give these issues a 10 out of 10. Apologies for the length of the video, but there was a lot to talk about these issues. And I do mean a lot. So, I'm going to have to sadly save the issues. The video I want to do tonight, I want to save for tomorrow. Oh, by the way, Al Robinson, who's Nucleon's mom, Terry Ruthenstein, she appears in this book. Because they have a little fast forward future here. And simply put, for also Squadron, there's not really like a lot left to discuss this book. Not really. Well, when I come back to this book, I'll be discussing the last 11 issues of this series, and then moving on to Young Also. I thought it was 12 issues. My mistake was actually 31. That'll be next. But after that one, not really sure exactly what's going to do next. I'll decide when I get to it. Okay, so that's going to be pretty much that particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and tune in the like button. Apologies once again for the length of the video, but like I said, a lot to talk about with these issues. So, I'll see you tomorrow for Ultra 7, Comic Corner, and hopefully have a good time. Fatal Frame. Okay? Thanks, you. Bye.